Hello and welcome everyone. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us from the various regions. So welcome to the second webinar on harnessing the power of test execution options with Virtuoso as part of the Virtuoso Mastery Enablement webinar series. We have with us Kanika Sharma, who is the Customer Enablement Manager here at Virtuoso, and she'll be driving the session today. And the agenda for the session would be, Kanika, if you can move to the next slide. So here you can see the agenda for the session. So Kanika would be walking us through all these topics. And towards the end, we'll be having more details about the upcoming enablement webinars as part of this series, and also how you can upskill on Virtuoso and get certified. So stay tuned till the end. And with that, I would like to hand it over to Kanika to start the session.
Thank you, Abhijit, for the introduction. Welcome back for session 2 of the Virtuoso Mastery Enablement series, and a special welcome to anyone joining us for the very first time today. Today's session is all about conquering test execution in Virtuoso. We'll guide you through everything you need to know to achieve faster testing cycles and improve quality. So whether you are a Virtuoso veteran or just getting started, we have something valuable insights for you. So as part of agenda, today we'll be covering the introduction. We'll dive into the core concepts of Virtuoso and see how it can streamline your testing journeys and also frees your team for strategic work. We'll do a quick recap on our previous session, which was about test authoring using NLP. We'll just revisit the power of writing test steps in plain English language. The next topic would be test execution. That would be like the most major focus for the session today. We will explore how to tailor your testing execution approach to fit your specific needs, along with advanced execution power, where we will leverage the functionalities like test data management and parallel execution to optimize your testing. And lastly, and then we will see how to automate these execution by our execution planner. And lastly, we'll wrap up by discussing how to analyze and interpret your test execution results, ensuring you gain maximum value from every test run. So that's like the plan for today. So get ready to learn by doing. We'll be using slides and demos throughout the presentation to make the learning experience interactive and engaging. So let's explore how Virtuoso can transform your web application testing. And please feel free to ask any question throughout the session in the chat section. We'll address all of them. All right, so for those of you who haven't heard of Virtuoso before, let me give you a quick overview. We are an AI-powered natural language test automation platform that speeds testing by empowering non-engineers to create self-maintaining automation in the cloud. Virtuoso is also used to automate UI and integration testing for browser-based applications, front-end and back-end applications both, using natural language. So let me give you an example. So you know that feeling where you're spending a lot of hours on repetitive tasks like ensuring your login form works across different browsers. So Virtuoso can automate these tedious tasks for you and freeing up your team's valuable time for more strategic testing scenarios. So let me just give you a quick overview on some functionalities which we're really proud of. First is about low-code tested automation. And you've already seen in our previous session that you can just create test scenarios by writing it in plain English. Second is self-healing. So Virtuoso uses machine learning to understand your application and it adapts to changes. So this means tests can heal themselves as your application evolves. We also have AI assistance along with it. So if you need to generate test data on the fly, receiving insightful journey summaries, and even if you want to generate JavaScript extension, you can do it just by giving natural language commands. We can also do end-to-end complete coverage of test scenarios in terms of validating functionalities, APIs, and even visual elements to ensure there is a flawless user experience from start to finish. And also regarding cross-browser test, we can ensure that if you're writing a test scenario, it can be well utilized across all browsers, operating systems, devices, which can save your time and effort. And lastly, this is towards a shift-left approach. So if you build comprehensive tests with wireframes, requirements, or Jerkin syntax, You can identify the issues before even the problem has started. So these are like the major highlights about Virtuoso. So let's see Virtuoso in action. And today we'll unveil some of its core functionalities. We'll save rest for our upcoming enablement webinars. So the next topic is test authoring using NLP. This has been already covered in our previous session. I'll just give you a quick overview on the features which we have covered, because we will be referring them for our text execution section. So we have learned about how to author test scenarios using natural language. Also, if you remember the live preview, where Virtuoso executes test steps in real time, providing immediate feedback for accuracy. Again, you can also interact with the application under test through the preview, and also some advanced develop controls. For those who are familiar with dev tools, Virtuoso offers an advanced mode. This leverage in precise targeting elements for your web applications. So now let's revisit the end-to-end journey, which we have already created in Virtuoso platform. So for that, I'll be just moving to. Right. So this was the journey which we have already created. This is an end-to-end journey on Rocket Shop purchase. In this journey, just click to this journey is divided into sections based on checkpoints, and each checkpoints represent a specific stage in the user journey and includes a series of action to be performed. Like in the first one, you can see navigate. In the second, we are trying to look for the element and clicking on it. Similarly, in the complete journey, we have it's a journey of browsing a product, adding it to cart, going through checkout, filling the information, and also verifying the order confirmation towards the end. So this is like an end-to-end journey, which we have already covered in our previous session. So now, once the journey is created and you feel confident about it, the next step would be to publish it. Now, what it means is like, think of Virtuoso journeys like recipes. So you can create them step by step in draft mode. So this is in the draft mode as of now, allowing you to refine and test each step before finalizing the recipe. So you can build at your own pace, and then you can publish it whenever you are ready. So now we'll do the publish part here. Now it's ready to execute. So in terms of execution, we have multiple options to do that. One is by selecting end-to-end journey. Second, we can select multiple journeys to execute. So here for this specific journey, let's execute it by clicking here. And then we will move to project activity, where we can see this execution is happening. If we click here, it is still running. Okay. So here you get a summary report that the step has passed, who has launched it, and it has been run on Virtuoso headless browser. And the environment which is being used in the journey is of staging. And here you can see there are duration captures, as well as there are some side effects. So what are side effects? These are the values which are getting captured here. So this is like a brief journey which we created. Now let's talk more about different types of execution, and then we'll see how do we do it in the Virtuoso platform. All right. So for test execution, as we have seen, that we can execute journeys on a specific journey base, as well as for the entire goal. Second is dynamic testing. We can leverage data tables to create diverse test scenarios very quickly in Virtuoso. Here, once you associate data tables with your journeys, the test data you provide will be used during execution. So by default, Virtuoso uses the first row of data in each table. However, you can do control this behavior by executing it in advance, which we will see again how to do in the platform, where within a goal or journey context menu, you can choose specific data rows for execution. And then we can, again, parallel execution. This feature allows you to run multiple tests. This means that you can get your testing done much faster, freeing you up to focus on other tasks. Again, another point which we have already covered about cross-browser coverage. So you can write your test once and be confident that they'll be running smoothly on all major browsers. And we'll see this also in action. And lastly, the targeted environment. So if you need to run a specific test on maybe UAT environment or staging environment, you can do this activity as well through the advanced mode. So let's do this in action in Virtuoso platform. So here I have created one journey. So there are in this code, Rocket Shop end-to-end test execution, we have 3 journeys. And for executing, we'll be picking up this journey. I'll just give you a quick overview on this. So this is a very small journey just to demonstrate. We are navigating. We are creating a profile. It's just a simple, quick registration form. So now to execute advance. So we have multiple options here. We can also execute it by giving a custom starting URL if you require. Second option would be to initialize data. If you have a specific data which you would want to run on this journey, we can do it in the advanced option. Third would be test data. So we'll be seeing this specific section. Let's enable it. I've already mapped a data table with this checkpoint. So here you can see that it is showing me 10 rows here. I do have the option to select either 10 or maybe I can just select starting 5. With respect to different environment, let's try out this option as well. So we have already defined the variables in the environment section. So whenever we are trying to do it on the different environment, it will fetch that variable and the value for this execution. We can set the parallelism based on your journey. So it can parallelly go up to 50 or unlimited here. And cross-browser execution. So here for cross-browser execution, let's select Windows 11. Again, we have other features also, like as in you can define the resolution and tags as well. This is again to make it more readable and to collaborate more with your colleagues. So now we have already defined the test data. We've defined the different environment here and also the parallelism. We have also set to execute this on a different browser, which is Windows 11. So let's execute this journey. So we'll move to project activity here. This journey is getting executed as we can see. 5 journeys. So let me just give you a brief about project activity. Here on the left side, you will see there are multiple filters to search it on job date, execution plans. You can also search it based on a specific goal, their outcome, and if there are any tags attached to it, you can also do it based on that. So these are all filtering option. On the right hand side, you'll see all the jobs which are getting executed. This is the live status of the execution happening. Let's go here. So here you can see there are 5 data-driven rows. This is again as a icon to represent that a data table is attached to it, this journey. And here in the progress, we can see 4 executions are running. 1 is in queue. Now 1 is passed. You can also see the environment is staging, the parallelism, the max job parallelism we have set is 50, and I've launched it, and it is launched on Windows 11 Chrome browser. So this is like a quick overview on that. All right. So since this execution is happening, you can see here we have defined name and phone number. So which will be different for each data row, and user email and password. These are in different colors. This is representing that it is part of environment variable. So yeah. Sorry, just give me a minute. So here, now we have the result of 5 different data rows, and the difference could be, you can see it directly from here. The username here is John. The another journey is again executed with the different row, Emily, and following for all 5 executions. Here you can see now, like if we move to a particular step, you'll be able to see the screenshot which is getting captured while the journey is getting executed. So here we receive before element and after interaction screenshots are also getting captured. It also highlights what was the exact element which has been selected and executed in the after execution, after interaction. And the side effects section where we are receiving these values. So moving back to the presentation, now we have already covered how to execute the data table, parallel execution, cross-browser, and on the targeted environment. So as for goal and journey summary, I've already captured this result, like number of journeys getting passed and the devices which are getting executed on the environment, the number of parallelism. So in the journey overview, we receive a comprehensive understanding of the goal structure, the number journeys, checkpoint, contributor, and if there are any failures or potential issues, that will also be highlighted. I have kept a separate journey for us to discuss it in our further slides. So let's talk about root cause analysis. So this is again a very interesting section where we talk about history, how often a journey has failed, and we can compare it based on the success rate, and we can identify the trend as well. We can also do the visual comparison here, see side-by-side screenshots of successful and failed steps along with the page source information, which can be again utilized in terms of understanding more development side of it. And with the help of AI, we can also get an analysis of why the step has failed. And then we can also do the troubleshooting and highlight the issue, whether it was a bug or a network issue. And then again, we can further collaborate with our teammates to report it further. So, all right. So while executing the journey, in this particular case, I have selected a different device, which is iPhone 11. And since this Rocket Shop website is our, internal website for testing purpose. So this is not built for the device setup. So since it is throwing error, now we can simply see that it is giving us an error, target element not found. And there is a quick history analysis over here where we can see the step has passed previously and when it got failed. And if we click here, it will directly take us to that execution where the step got failed. So if we click here, so it is showing the error message here. So if we move to root cause analysis, here you can very easily see with previously past screenshot and current screenshot. So when it got passed previously, this profile icon was there, but when we are trying to do the same execution on a different device, it is failing because we are not able to identify the element here. So this is the reason. And now it gives us the clear understanding of why the step got failed. We can add a comment here and then further collaborate with our team. Or if we want, if there are some scenarios where we need this kind of explanation and we are not able to determine that why this step has failed, we can also utilize this functionality of journey failure explanation. So if we'll just give it a moment, it will analyze the entire journey and it will give us what was the reason of failure here, which can be further utilized for our troubleshooting purpose. So again, this is an AI feature. So it is suggesting that the click command failed because the element target by the XPath and CSS selector is not clickable. So it suggests that the element found may not be the correct interactive element, such as the button or link. So this again clearly tells us our analysis, and we can just act upon it by selecting a reason why this journey has failed. So let's call it a bug, and it will be again. You can update these reasons by collaborating with your colleagues once they have their analysis, or maybe while you're interacting with other developers, you can again troubleshoot it and update the reason here. So this is the root cause analysis. We also have the ticketing functionality where you can map it with Jira and it will raise an alert based on the failure. And here in step timeline, what all changes I have done, or maybe your teammates have contributed to, you'll be able to see all those changes here in this particular section. So now, even if I want to go back to the journey view, I can use this icon, see this journey on goal view. And then this is in the read-only mode. So since this journey is already executed, we have to move to the latest version. And now I can again make the changes here. So let's see how we can execute this journey again with a different browser and see whether it works or not. Let's give it just a minute. So all right, now this journey has passed successfully. And if we want to see the screenshot, we can also capture that. For the same step, now the bot has able to identify the element, since this is again on the browser where it was available. So again, this was the part of root cause analysis. It gives you a detailed idea about why the step has failed, and you can take steps accordingly to work upon it. So now we have already seen how to execute journeys by selecting a single journey or multiple journeys, or by using advanced section on data-driven, different environment, and cross-browser, as well as by adjusting the parallelism. So this was all manual activity. Now we'll see how can we utilize the entire activity with the help of automation, and we'll talk about execution planner in this scenario, where you can, it will help to create reusable test plans to group specific testing scenarios. And also, it also helps you to schedule these executions, which will be running automatically, or you can also do it on demand. So now we'll be covering this section. Again, let's move to, let's create. So here on this sidebar, if you can see this execution planner icon, just click on it. I've already created one plan just to demonstrate. So for this regression pack, 18 journeys were there. So this gives us a quick overview on what has happened in this journey from a high level point of view. 18 journey execution, 12 have been passed, 6 got failed. We have executed this journey on different devices, on Firefox, iOS, and also as default on Virtuoso Chrome, headless Chrome browser. So this the scheduling has already been set for every week, and the next run is also mentioned here, and when was the last execution. And it also represents how much time did it take. So this was the journey which got executed. Let's have a look on this, and then we'll create a different one. So this is the same journey which I explained you when we ran on iPhone 11, it got failed. So if we just change the browser, you will see that it is running. So again, the same journey, you will able to see different outcomes on various browser or devices. So let's create one journey. Let's create a new plan. So let's give it name smoke test. So in this section, we can configure the various browser. So when we were doing it manually for one specific journey, then we do not get an option to try it on different browsers. But when we are creating a planner, we can set it for various configuration. So here, let's do it for Android, Pixel. Sorry. So this device orientation section, this will be only available for mobile devices, as the name suggests. So now we have added 3 configuration in terms of journey. One second, let me just. Yeah. Now we can set the schedule here by just toggling it. We can define the date when the schedule should start. Let's do it for today, and it's 5:31 in India. So we have set the execution plan for 5:35, and we can again define the occurrence of it, whether you want it once or for once, or hourly, daily, or weekly. Let's do it for weekly. And in case you want this execution to retry, if the journey fails, you can enable this option here. In the further settings, we can also define various environments. So the way we did it for on the manual approach for executing journeys, we can also define the similar things here in the advanced execution planner. So we can define the environment. Again, let's keep it staging for now. And if we want to run this specific execution on a custom URL, we can also define it from here. And if you want to change the maximum parallelism, we can do it from here. If we'll select it one, so each time one journey will be executed if there are 5 journey. And also one more important thing to note here, that uh, the journeys will be picked on a random basis. Like, so there is no, it's not expected that if there are 3 journeys, journey 1, 2, and 3, it will run in the same order 1, 2, and 3. It can be 2, 3, 1 as well, based on the resources available for the bot. So now we have already defined the plan details. Now let's move to defining the goal. So here we can define the entire goal. Here, let's pick Rocket Shop, end-to-end test execution, where we were working. And again, we have 2 options. Now we can target it on the basis of tags as well as on journeys. Tags can be pre-mapped with the journey, and then maybe you can utilize the tags here. Like we have some option like in progress, live, whether it's on production, prod ready, or if you want to define it on the basis of device. So again, this is for your own ease and understanding. You can define it by using tags, but in an ideal scenario, just by adding the journey here. So now we have 3 options. Either first, we can do it by selecting this. So in this particular scenario, all the journeys will be considered. Even if the new journey will add it in the later stage, it will also be part of this planner. Whereas if you just select all, the new journeys which are getting added in this goal will not be executed. And the third option here, we can just simply select it on one specific journey. So let's do it for this. Again, we can define it whether we want to run it as data-driven or not. So I've already mapped the data table with the journey, hence we'll be able to see it here. Otherwise, this option would be grayed out. So just to show you, we can add all right, so I've already executed this. So here in this data-driven journey, we can also define whether we want to run it for all rows or we won't want to restrict it for only just for first 5 rows. So we do have this visibility, we can do that. So let's run it for all 10. And there is another option if the data table is available for and mapped with the entire journey, you can run the whole plan as data driven as well, just by this one. So now let's create this plan. Let's do a quick check that we have selected everything. We have named, yes, execution schedule. All right, perfect. Then let's run this plan. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I think I took more time in explaining it. So the time has passed. So I'll just move it 1 minute further. So now the plan is created and our next run will be at 5:37 p.m. IST. So in the meanwhile, we do have other options here, as well as if you want to edit this plan, you want to clone it, or you want to pause the plan, or very interesting one is manage notification. I'll quickly cover this for you. So we can enable notifications for you. So whenever a journey is passing, failing, we can define the condition here, and those triggers will be generated and you will receive an email notification. And we can also do it for Slack. Once the Slack integration done, you will be also notified on Slack as well. So we do have this option where whether you want to send these notifications to all project members or you would want to restrict it to a certain member. So currently, let's just try to define it here. Meanwhile, you can see in the parallel, the journey is getting executed. Here we can define it on two bases. One is execution status, whether it is successful or failure. We can define that rule here. Let's say when it fails. And another could be success ratio. So you can define if the success ratio of the entire plan is less than 80%, it should again notify us. And if I don't want to share this notification with all the members, I can just disable it and either add my name or maybe some colleagues working along with me on this project. And once the enable Slack integration is enabled, then you can also utilize this functionality. And we can just save it. Yeah. Right now, I'm not saving it because the notification will pop again. So this is the way you can define the plan notification. Let's move back to the plan which is getting executed here. As we can see, the live status is getting updated. So here in this map, you're able to see clearly where all these steps are failing, and as well as the number of steps are getting passed. So while this is happening in the execution, this execution is in progress. Here you can see a quick overview of, it's like a quick report of the entire plan execution. Just give me a minute. So for Google Pixel, again, for the device, mobile device, this application is not compatible. So it is showing an error, which is expected here, which is fine. So we are able to see that if there is an error, we are able to identify it here. And again, in the root cause analysis, as we discovered, we'll be able to show that graph and maybe then make a conclusive understanding about the end-to-end execution and where all we need to work further. Here is again the screenshot, which can be used as reference. So now this is for Google Pixel 3. And the same journey has executed really well on OS, Mac OS. And you can see even in the screenshot, it got captured. So this specific element which we were trying to capture, user profile, it has been captured and all the other steps are also executed. So, so now you can see here data rows. Currently, this is again in the process. Hence, it is changing the status over there. So here you can see different data rows have been utilized for all 10 journeys. For the same journey, 10 different data rows have been utilized. So again, this is in the process. So this is the way we can automate the execution and define a plan, schedule it, manage the notification, and collaboratively work with our teams on those journeys. All right. So from execution point of view, we have covered all the topics. And as part of our next session, so today we have covered very core functionality, and each webinar session will be deep diving on each and every function. So today we have just seen a quick overview on different execution functionalities, whereas in the next session, we'll be discussing more on data-driven testing in terms of how do we define it, in terms of importing it, or if you want to use our AI feature, which can generate the entire test table for you, and then you can utilize it by mapping it with your journey. So all these interesting things will be covered in our next series by Uzo, who's our teammate. So that is all from my end. Abhijit, would you like to add anything here?
Thanks, Kanika. Thanks for the detailed overview about the test execution options in Virtuoso. And just as a quick recap for all the people who joined us a few minutes late. So today we covered the test execution options that we have in Virtuoso, be it parallel test execution that allows you to execute all your journeys within a goal or within the execution plan in parallel on multiple devices that are available on cloud, meaning that all these journeys would be executed independently on separate devices, allowing you to get the faster execution response and faster feedback, and getting so that you can take instant actions. Then we covered the test data-driven execution, which allows you to data drive your test by just creating one journey and executing the same journey for n number of test data sets by creating the data table within Virtuoso itself and mapping these test data with the journey and executing the journey in a data-driven mode. So again, the data-driven testing can be linked with the parallel test execution, and it automatically gets linked to the parallel test execution, allowing you to execute all the journey or all the journeys with different data sets on different devices. And we also covered the cross-browser testing, which allows you to execute the journeys that you have built, which is for the web application or the API applications. But typically, or ideally, you would be doing it for the web applications. It allows you to execute the same test or the same journeys across multiple operating systems, across multiple browsers using the cross-browser test execution option that we have. And additionally, we also covered how you can leverage the environment section within the Virtuoso platform that allows you to just create one journey and execute them across multiple environments, be it the QA environment, UAT environment, or any other pre-prod environments that you would be having, rather than having to create these journeys separately for each of these environments. So basically how it works is by decoupling the environment specific details and registering them in the environment section, and then mapping it to the journey and executing them separately on the different environments. And we saw how we can leverage the advanced test execution option in the demo today to select these data-driven testing, these environment-specific testing, and cross-browser testing options to manually execute these. Whereas we also saw that how we can schedule these executions by creating the execution plans and schedule it on a weekly basis, daily basis, or an hourly basis based on the frequency that we want these tests to be executed. And we also covered how we can integrate all these capabilities within the execution planner itself. So with that, we would like to conclude the session today. And we would like to thank all the participants for joining us. Now, it's time for the Q&A, and we have a couple of questions in the chat section, which the team would be responding to by the chat, or maybe we can answer them live as well. But we would also like to keep this session interactive, and maybe any of you, if you have any questions, maybe you can raise your hand and unmute. We'll unmute you, and you can ask these questions, and we'd be happy to answer these questions. So I see we have one hand raised. Let me view and let me. So Praneeth, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, Abhijit. So we do have some limitations in creating a planner, right? We do have only 250 journeys to which need to be added in. Only 250 need to be added in Virtuoso planner. We can't
Okay.
add it. It is a limitation. We can't change it, or we can change it.
So in that case, if you have journeys more than 250, which is the threshold of the particular feature, in that case, you can create another execution planner and accommodate the remaining journeys as part of that execution planner, and have the same schedule for the second execution planner as well as a solution.
Okay. So we don't have any limitations for creating planners, right? We can create n number of planners in a
So
project.
again, you can find the thresholds and limitations in the document section. We'll be sharing the link with you shortly, and there you can find the limit on number of execution plans that you can create as well.
Okay. Thank you, Abhijit. That's it.
Thank you. So if there is any other questions, you can raise your hand. We'll be unmuting you and we'll answer the query. And once you have received the answer, we would also request you to lower the hand so that we do not get duplicate questions.
There's one question in the Q&A section from
Okay,
Renault.
let me take that. Yes. So there is a question by Renault, it seems. So can you please explain how to generate the execution reports in an output document, Excel or other? It is great to have the results on the board, but we need to have them externally. Thanks in advance. So to answer this question, Renault, we also have something called as report extracts in the organization tab of Virtuoso. And in the organization section, you will find something called as apps, and where you can install the report extracts application. And using the reports extract application, you can generate a CSV report out of the execution that has happened for a goal. And all the details associated with that execution would be listed in that CSV file. It would be a basic execution report containing the journeys, the link of the journeys, the execution status, and also the time details. But that is what is available as part of report extracts. And to add to it, you can also leverage the project activity to visualize the execution history of any given job or any given environment, also depending upon the uh, execution outcome of these executions. Okay, so we have answered this live. We'll wait for 30 seconds more in case we receive any other questions. You can raise your hand, we'll unmute you and we'll answer the question live.
Regarding the previous session's webinar links, I have just sent a chat post on the chat section saying that our previous session's recording can be accessed via this link, and all our upcoming webinar registrations links will be made available on virtuoshow.qa/webinars. After each webinar, the subsequent day, you'll be receiving an email from cx-p@spotqa.com, in which you will find the details of the previous webinars also. Okay, so if there is any link that we would like to share with you, if there is the recording link of the previous sessions that we would like to share with you, it will be sent via this email ID, cx-p@spotqa.com. This is a Zoom email ID from which you will receive this email. So make sure that you do not ignore these emails and try to get into the content and fetch all the links and bookmark those links which I have just pasted on the chat section here. Most importantly, the last one, which is virtuoso.qa/webinars, because all our upcoming webinars are going to be open on this particular link. Yeah,
thank you,
we
Justin.
still
Thanks
have.
for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Please continue.
So we still have 9 minutes left in this session. I'll urge you all to take the most out of it and post any relevant questions that you have related to Virtuoso or related to today's topic, so that we are able to answer your questions, and you are progressing in your enablement journey of Virtuoso very well. So we are here to support you. If you have any questions, please let's utilize the next 9 minutes of time and post your questions so you can take them. If
Thank
you
you,
think
Jaswant.
yeah, Abhijit, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Jaswant. So while we receive the questions, you would be seeing on the screen that This is an enablement webinar series where we'll continue to conduct such kind of sessions every month. The upcoming session would be on data-driven testing with Virtuoso. So in this session, our team lead for the customer enablement department, Uzo Pala, would be driving the session, and he'll be covering how you can create test data within Virtuoso itself and how you can leverage its AI assistant for automatically creating test data that you need. He'll also cover how you can assign these test data to journeys and automatically create the data-driven journeys, and also how you can execute these data-driven tests in Virtuoso. So you can we'll be opening the registrations very soon for this session, and the session would be on 30th May, same time as the session that we had today, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. IST, and which is 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. BST. So stay tuned for more upcoming sessions. And with that, let me see if we have any other questions. I guess we have received one. So Renault report extracts is not provided by default. This is something that you'll have to go in the application section and install it, and then it would be available for you. And yeah. Okay. So we have answered all the queries, and with that, we would like to conclude the session. And we thank all the participants for joining us. We'll now share a few important links that will be helpful for you in your learning journey with Virtuoso. So we'll be sharing the Virtuoso free trial request link, from where you can request a free trial access for 14 days of Virtuoso and try the tool and explore it and continue the learning with it. We'll also share the Virtuoso documentation guide, where you can find all the details about all the features available in Virtuoso. We'll share the link of the certification portal, where you will find around 7 certification courses that are free for all. We recommend that you register to these training certifications using your official email ID or the company email IDs, and get the benefit of these self-paced trainings, which would hardly take 1 or 2 hours per certification course. And like I said, it is free for everyone, and they can just take these certifications and get certified and receive the Virtuoso associate level certification or platform specialist level certification or similar other certifications that we have. So we'll be pasting the link in the chat section, and also we'll paste a link of the feedback link for the enablement webinar that we conducted. We urge all the participants to take this feedback, to complete this feedback survey and let us know how did the enablement webinars go so far, so that we can adapt it accordingly for the upcoming sessions. And you would be receiving these links in the chats. So I would recommend you copy these links and save it somewhere and use them for getting upskilled on Virtuoso.
So do we have any other questions?
No, there aren't any.
With that, I guess we can conclude the session. And I would like to thank once again everyone for joining us today. I hope this session was useful. Stay tuned for the upcoming sessions to learn more about the tool, and make sure to get more benefits from the documentation, from the trial, and also from the certification courses that we have. And the links can be found in the chat section in case you have missed it. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead. And with that,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.